It's easier than ever to create your own wine cellar with modular systems, the right racks, and cooling systems that offer you fine-tuned control of your space. Wine Cellar HQ has everything you need to get started. Wine cellar types. There are two main types of wine cellars, passively cooled and actively cooled. A passively cooled wine storage area is built into a room that's naturally humid and cool. The best places for these wine cellars are typically temperate climates and basement rooms that are already surrounded by a few feet of earth. An actively cooled wine cellar will be the best choice for most of us who don't already have a great subterranean space. These wine cellars are built out with insulation and fitted with cooling units that keep the room at just the right temperature and humidity at all times. Building a wine cellar. When building, remember that climate control should always be the top priority, no matter what type of cellar you're constructing. Insulation and cooling unit choice are important to consider throughout the process. If the cellar isn't constructed well, at best it will cost you far more than it should to keep the climate where it needs to be. At worst, it could actually ruin all your wine. Framing. Your wine cellar frames need to allow room for enough insulation and for a vapor barrier to be installed correctly. If you're using closed cell foam, of course, you won't need a vapor barrier and can plan for that accordingly. If at all possible, plan on building out the entire cellar so you have a perfectly sealed room that will stand up to constantly humid conditions over time. As far as the details go, your wall frames should ideally be at least 2 inches by 6 inches. Ceiling frames should be 2 inches by 8 inches. Vapor barrier. A vapor barrier is an absolute necessity for a wine cellar. The sort of humidity levels necessary to keep your corks from drying out is hard on walls and ceilings, so rot and mold are always a worry. A vapor barrier installed on the outside or warm side of the frame and done properly creates a seal that will protect your cellar for years to come. The vapor barrier should be at 6 millimeters. Insulation. When the insulation is done properly, you spare your cooling unit a lot of extra work. Proper insulation has the potential to save you thousands of dollars in cooling costs over the lifetime of the cellar. For the walls, plan on a minimum of 3.5 inches of insulation. Your ceiling needs nearly twice that at 6 inches. If possible, consider adding some insulation to the floor. Cooling. You can choose between a through-the-wall, self-contained system, a split system, or a ducted system. Each has its pros and cons, and considerations such as the room's volume, ambient temperature, and ducting. Refer to your plans or talk with an expert when exploring your cooling options to ensure optimal operations. Furniture. The racks are the heart of your cellar, and you can choose either kit products or custom racks. The kits come ready for you to assemble, pre-designed, and produced in bulk. Sizes and shapes are standardized, and they're cheaper than custom racks. Custom racks are built specifically to hold your wine collection and fit your wine cellar space and shape. This is the right option if you have odd shapes and corners to fill, and these also have superior detailing and craftsmanship. Now that you know the basics, it's time to get started. Contact Wine Cellar HQ today and let us help you find the best cooling solutions, racking systems, and wine enthusiast accessories to build and protect your amazing wine collection. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.